Welcome to Black Culture is Lit TV.
You see the glamour, but you didn't see the grind. I built this empire from nothing, and I own every piece of it.
Yeah, pull a hug, how about yeah, the whole squad lit. Cameras on, lights flash, yeah, we build like this. From the block to the big ring, we bring that fire. Black culture on the rise, taking it high. Hey, we outside, turn me up.
I saw Cameron saying he's not an African and Africa stinks.
I'm not African. Same with the African told me people stink.
Now, obviously, this is ridiculously disrespectful and ignorant, but I love Killer. So let's approach this empirically. Why don't we do a history of the name Cameron Giles? Giles is a medieval French name, originally used by the followers of a one Saint Giles, a nigga that looked like this. Not exactly a striking resemblance, even if you put him in pink fur. On the other hand, there were plenty of slaveholders named Giles. Written records trace the human beings they enslaved to Africa, oftentimes referring to them as Coromontes if they was from modern-day Ghana, Mandingos if they were from the Sahel, Igbos if they were from modern-day Nigeria. But clearly, the name Giles was passed down from someone who enslaved Africans. Now, if modern science places human beings at 300,000 years old and the oldest archaeological evidence of Homo sapiens is in Africa, Morocco, South Africa, Ethiopia, then I'll struggle to understand how 500 years here erases 299,500 years in Africa. Culturally, you resonate with America. Fine, that's a nationality. You may have European or indigenous blood, but your ancestral origin is overwhelmingly African. Take a DNA test. You tell me what it says. I can see Killer being like Cherokee, but you finna have a lot of Nigeria in there, my guy. Don't get mad at me because I love Cam. But like, Africa stinks? Come on. I mean, it stinks everywhere, nigga. My dogs just shit in my backyard. Now my backyard stinks. I saw Cameron saying he's not an African and
We talking about Africa. There's a lot of Africans. I didn't say y'all stink. Even though we talking about stink shit, Vegas stink. It's Americans who stink too. But I never said y'all stink. Why is you clickbaiting, talking about I said the people in Africa stink? Because I didn't say that. I was repeating what somebody said. Sin went to Africa and told me people stink.
Now, obviously, this is ridiculously disrespectful and ignorant, but I love Killer. So let's approach this empirically.
Niggas be like, this right here is a fossil that was created in Africa, and we did all the research on it, and it traces back. Saying that I said Africa 6, I didn't even say that. So therefore, how are we supposed to believe, which from that you know was going on 2,000 years ago, if you don't know what's going on last week? That's light skin shit. No disrespect, nigga. You know what I'm saying? We talking about Africa. There's a lot of Africans, but I didn't say y'all stink. Even the light-skinned nigga from the Shah, I forget the nigga name.
Vic Mensa?
Okay,
Yeah, Vic.
Yo, homeboy, why is you clickbaiting, talking about I said the people in Africa stink? Because I didn't say that. I was repeating what somebody said. He tried to go through my last name and this and that and this. He telling you the history of some shit from, what, 1,000 years, 2,000 years, however long ago? Mm-hmm. He can't even get the story from the pot.
Well, what do we have here? Vic Mensa calls out Cameron over his refusal to identify as
We talking about Africa. There's a lot of Africans, but I didn't say y'all stink. Even though we talking about stink shit, Vegas stink. It's Americans who stink too. But I never said y'all stink. Why is you clickbaiting, talking about I said the people in Africa stink? Because I didn't say that. I was repeating what somebody said. Sin went to Africa and told me people stink.
Now, obviously, this is ridiculously disrespectful and ignorant, but I love Killer. So let's approach this empirically.
Niggas be like, this right here is a fossil
What do we have here? Vic Mensa calls out Cameron over his refusal to identify as African American. Let's talk about it.
What's wrong with being African?
Ain't nothing wrong with being African. It's just that I'm not African. I was born in America.
Are you black?
Yeah, I'm black.
You just black.
I'm a black man, nigga. And shout out to my Africans. I'm not African. I'm not.
Now, according to my research, the good brother Vic Mensa is truly an African American. He is a Ghanaian and an American man, which is very different than the majority of us as melanated people here in America. We are what we call American Indians, not African Americans. First of all, let me tell you this, right? Unless you got a direct descendant who was born in Africa, you cannot claim to be an African American. You can't be born in Africa and 3 different continents in America, North, Central, and South. Brother, where are you from? You feel me? So yes, Cameron was actually right when he said, I am not an African American. I am not a Negro. I am not a colored. And we cannot keep letting African descendants telling us who we are as Americans. You understand? Either people are going to study and know all aspects and not just the teaspoon that was fed to them in these public school buildings. So let me pipe down, because at some point here in America, the black train, the Negrodonia movement has got to come to an end. We have got to realize who we are if we ever want to get back those reparations and those treaty benefits that are owed to us. That's the only way we get in them, y'all. I'm starting to think that people are keeping us stuck here in this matrix with this backwards ass form of thinking and knowing that we are not that. We are not crayon colors. We are not continents. We come from nations of people, and your rights stem directly from your creed. So you know what? I'm actually with you on this one, Cameron. And in fact, you should invite me on the podcast so that I can spread this truth to all our melanated brothers and sisters out there. Come on, at me.
Trees. Shake off the bees. Tales of the trees. On with the sea. Omni is free! Shake off the
saying that delineation is like a form of white supremacy, or it's I guess co-op, or if you will. Well, what's your thoughts on delineation and the whole talking narrative about being white supremacy adjacent? What's your thoughts?
Man, that's a great question, and thank you for that caveat. I think so. I'm gonna disagree with the sisters on this one. I think delineation is divisive, and we are late to the party, right? And so, why we're getting the pushback, and now to even that caveat, so I'm glad you said that. The reason why you get the MAGA accusations is because everybody else that delineated did it for divisiveness, right? They did it with animus. They did it with hatred. They did it so that they would not be confused with us based on all the things that we talked about earlier, right? So if you can kind of distance yourself from foundational Black Americanness, then you can be in the good graces of white folks, right? So the reason why we get the accusations is because in their heart of hearts, they know why they delineated, right? So now when we talk about is foundational Black American delineation divisive, then the answer to that is no. And so that's the nuance that I want to put in the conversation. Their delineation has always been about hate, whether it's white folks delineating from us. Everybody that has ever delineated from us has done it so that it will be to our detriment and to be to, right? We're not doing that because we don't, not that we don't care in that way, but we don't have that type of mindset. We're delineating, like Sister Keisha said, because it is about survival at this point. And so what's happening is that the MAGA accusation comes down to it's a lazy coping mechanism, right? And what happens is that anything that goes against any ideology that supports them is white supremacy, right? Even when they are parroting white supremacist tropes, they never put the white supremacist tag on themselves, even though they are being highly anti-Black, right? And by Black, I mean foundation Black American. We can get to that portion of the conversation later down the line about who's Black, who's not, right? And why. But the bottom line is that throughout their entire processes of being anti-Black, they never put the MAGA or right-wing tag on themselves. But as soon as we start to talk about anything that's going to benefit solely us, we get the MAGA tag, not just from the Afro-immigrants, we get it from the Pan-Africans, we get it from the Democrats, we get it from anybody. Because what we found in this delineation process, see, we're delineating, again, because it's a necessity as far as survival, but like you said as well, with I won't call it a diaspora war, but I will respect your opinion, but I will call it the diaspora's war against us, right? And so what we found and what we find is that us delineating changes the game for everybody that's not us. Because at one point we thought, or most of us thought, that sitting at the table that's on our backs, right? It's a meme that I saw a while ago, and it's like it's a playing board, and underneath as the feet of the table are Black America or Black backs, right? We know those are foundational Black American backs in this country. And for a long time, I thought that the only people playing that board game on the backs of foundational Black Americans were the white supremacists. I'm gonna take time. Were the white supremacists, right? But as we started to delineate, and I was able to, as I was straightening up my back and I was able to peek over the table, I saw a whole bunch of people's faces that looked like mine at that table as well. Because not only do the white supremacists, play the game on our back, so do the Pan-Africans, so do the Boule, so do the Afro-immigrants and all their corrupt leaders. So it's a big game that was always being played that they kept us under the table with whispers of, hold on, you gotta do this for the diaspora, you gotta do this for Black folks, you gotta help all of us out. Not those whispers was coming from the top of the table. We thinking it was coming from somewhere, like it was some ancestral voice that was whispering to us, right? Like Mufasa and the Lion King. And what we found out was that was other people playing the game, make sure they kept us at the bottom. And so, delineation is not divisive. But I will say this, because we know the accusations are going to come. And I was watching the play Hamilton, not when it was in the theaters, on Broadway, because I couldn't afford that. But when they put it on Disney Plus, I watched it, right? And it was a line in there that Hamilton says, and Manuel says it because he's playing Hamilton, And he says, I'd rather be divisive than indecisive. And that stuck with me because despite us knowing that it's not divisive, if that's who I gotta be, right, to make the decisions I didn't make for my people and how we move forward, then I'll be that, right? I will be divisive if that's what it takes, because I already know that your delineation was based on divisiveness anyway from the start. And here's what's really powerful about it. And how we know, like I said, it's a coping mechanism, and it's because what we do disrupts the system. And I'll talk about New York since we're all New Yorkers, and that's where we're at right now. Was the AAPI community divisive when they disaggregated and delineated? Because the state of New York pushed that bill and signed it in 2021, excuse me. Because the Chinese, the Cambodians, the Koreans, the Japanese, the Filipino, the Thai, they wanted representation. Well, the MENA group, Middle East and North Africans, were they divisive when their bill got signed in 2024? No. MENA was trying to get out of whiteness, because if you from the Middle East or North Africa, you was white prior to 2024, right? So if you was Egypt, Syria, Saudi, those people are white when they come to America. And that's a whole nother question. I mean, a whole nother conversation, like Sister Lovely was talking about when you tell them who's white and who's not, and when they jump in and out of that. But the bottom line is that it's only divisive when we do it. Just the same way we're the only community that gets undermined and our towns get bombed. Why? Because of who we are, because of unique constitutional relationship with this country.
That's right.
When we are empowered, it has the potential and the possibilities to upend the entire system, because the system was not built on anti-blackness. See, that is a myth that has been going on for too long, and that's what they come in on, the Afro-immigrants and the Pan-Africans. They prey on that particular notion. I want everybody to know moving forward, from this point forward, that this country was built on anti-foundational Black Americanness. And everybody else that comes in catches the strays, no pun intended, from looking like, acting like, or proximity to foundational Black Americanness. And how do we know that? Because when we were being enslaved, you had Africans coming and going. You had Caribbeans coming and going that weren't enslaved. During Jim Crow, you had Africans and Caribbeans petitioning this government to give them pins, so that when they went around the Jim Crow South, people would know that they were not foundational Black American.
Speak on it.
But if it was just based on race, then there would be nothing you could do. But it was never based on race. And that kind of segues to the other conversation you have. See, because Black in this country always meant our ethnic group. But because we were the only Black ethnic group here, you didn't have to make any distinction.
Makes sense. Yeah, I get it.
After 1965, you get people in that the government is now calling Black, and now all of a sudden Black becomes a racial category. And so because we are now exposing all of this from top to bottom, now that's why we're gonna get called everything in the book. I don't know what's gonna be next, right? But my position from where I sit is that whatever I have to be, see, it's a Black American proverb, pun intended, that my mother taught me. It's not what they call you, it's what you answer to. So call me whatever you want. I'll be all of that. The only thing I'm in.